Hi, my last message was don't give up. Right? So I'm going to continue on that, and I think I want to start it with a song, okay? So I'm not the best singer, but I have a song with it, and that's the best. Glory, glory, hallelujah, sweet hallelujah, with goodness, glory, glory. Hallelujah, since I live, you've been there. I'm always mine. Really sister, you've been there. I'm always mine. Rivers down glory, hallelujah, since I live, you've been there. Glory, hallelujah, since I live, you've been there. So that's what I got for you, right? And now the question is what are we fighting for? When you're in the midst of a battle, it's real important to know what we're fighting. You know, what's the objective of the battle? You know, in the Bible it says that the world is covered in a deep darkness. You know, darkness covers all the people. You know, um, are we fighting to be covered? Are we are we fighting just for our ego to maintain appearances? What what are we fighting for? You know, the Vietnam battle, the Vietnam War was a battle that was fought on ego. It was it was a war that was fought to save face. You know, um, and it was a confusing war because people didn't really know what they were fighting for, you know, and because they didn't know what they were fighting for, there was all this division in our country here in America. There was all division over there in the race. There was mass confusion, you know. They couldn't tell who the enemy was. The enemy got real clever, and they started using kids to carry bombs and blow up soldiers. And so the soldiers were starting to kill women and children, you know. And there was just all this confusion, and it's because it was a war that was fought for appearances. And if you're fighting to save face, you're going to bring more destruction and more confusion, and the hurt is going to last so much longer, you know. It's going to carry on for generations. You know, the Vietnam War, our soldiers, when they came back, they didn't receive the hero's welcome that, you know, the previous wars, the previous soldiers from previous wars had received. The soldiers out of Vietnam, they didn't receive those honors. And also carrying on, people really didn't care for them. You know, we see so many veterans homeless, so many veterans suffering with mental illness and addiction, all kinds of affliction. And all of this is because they stood up to fight for our country, understand? To defend our honor, to to they fought to give us liberty, to keep us free, to promote justice. You know, these are the values of soldiers in our countries, and yet the war that they got drafted into was a war with no clear agenda other than to maintain appearance, right? And so the consequence of that bad seed is bad fruit for a lifetime, you know. Um, these people, they're still suffering, you know, still today, they're suffering, you know, and it's just ridiculous that we can't fight for appearances. You understand? This is the point that I'm trying to make. If you're fighting for appearances, then God is not with you. You know, the devil is driving you, and when the devil is driving you, God can't be with you because you're not following him. You're following that other one. You know, and sometimes we just have to cut it and say enough, enough. What are we fighting for? Be real clear on that, you know? And sometimes we just have to say, you know what, enough has been lost. You know, the prize that you're offering me, it's not worth all this strife and all this misery. You understand? Sometimes it's best to just lay it down, you know? Everybody makes mistakes. The devil is a tricky, tricky little bastard. Pardon my French. But just he twists things so well, and he uses your good qualities, your goodness, you know? He uses everything to control you, you know? He comes and makes you feel guilty for things that you shouldn't be feeling guilty for, you know? You catch him in something, and the smug little, he has enough gumption to say, prove it. He doesn't accept responsibility. If you can't prove everything he did exactly, then it's as good as he never did it to him, and he will never take responsibilities for his action. And he will try to use the fact that you can't prove what he did to keep him in your life. And you have to stop. Just stop. Just lay it down. Choose your heartache, you know? You want to, stay strong and stand tall, and, sometimes you just have to take the hit. Because the hit that he gives you is much less painful than the hit that you'll have to endure by giving him place in your life and continuing to fight, you know? Sometimes you gotta lay it down, because laying it down is self-preservation. And no, you're not laying it down to give him victory, but you're laying it down to let God in. And you're saying, God, I can't do nothing with this. I will bring you sacrifice, but you don't take pleasure in it. I'd offer you something, but you don't delight in it. But God, don't leave me like this. Don't leave me here. Your word promises you never leave or forsake me, God. I let it all go. I leave it all behind me. And I press forward to the mark of your high calling. You know, show me what you do. Show me what to do. Tell me what to do. I am your servant. I'm here. I'm available. I'm ready. I'm willing. Let's go, God. I'm going to lay all that junk down. Leave it behind me. Just pick me up. Give me those wings like eagles and let me fly away, you know? Take me to that place in my wilderness where I can develop, where I can grow, where I can be me, God. Because that battle don't matter to you. That battle is nothing to you. That battle is the devil using my time, God. And I don't worry about justice from them, because justice is in punishing my enemies. So define this real quick. As I said, we got to have clear definitions of what we're fighting for, you know. Justice is not the punishment of my enemies. And when you realize that justice is not punishment, then you'll be able to let that battle go a lot easier, you know. Justice is restoration. Justice is returning to God and being made whole. It's a return to wholeness, you know. Justice is nothing about cutting someone down. Justice is about restoration, you know. And for whatever anybody did, I pray God be merciful, but I'm not going to do it this way. Have your way, Lord. I give you my dominion. Luke 21 tells us that we testify before Christ, you know. This is what we're to do. This is what we're to do. We're not supposed to fight them. We're not supposed to engage them. That's just busyness, you know. You gotta lay it down. Put your burden on Christ. He said, "Come to me. You know, come to me. We'll change yokes. We'll change burdens. I got an easy one. It's real easy. Leave that stuff alone and just do the will of my Father." And what's the will of His Father? That every man be saved, that not one of us should perish. When you get that, when you get what you're working to, when you have that clear direction, clear purpose, you know, the enemy can't get to you no more. He got no place, because his place is always in strife. His place is always in sin. His place is always in illusion. And when you're working towards something concrete, when you got the bricks in your hand and you're laying them down on top of that solid foundation that is God, you're good. There's nothing that's going to knock you down, because the devil's going to come and tell you, "Oh, if you build the bricks this way, your house will stand better." But you know, because you have a God who has given you the blueprints of how you're to build this house. So you know. And you know, because there was others that gone before you, and the devil's played that trick on them before, and you know. You know that trick. So you just say, "No, thank you. It's not working." You know, there's no place for you here. Sorry. Oh, but he stole your brick over there. Well, God bless him. I hope that he puts it to good use, you know? When you give the devil no place, then he can't get you off your purpose. Because if I gotta leave building my house to go deal with one stolen brick, then I'm not working on God's purpose here no more. Now I'm seeking justice. I'm seeking a return. I'm seeking something from someone outside of God. Let it go. Just let it go. And I know, it's like, "Oh, but people will take advantage of you." Wow, devil, guess what? My God is a never-ending source. He is a very deep well with no bottom, and He's got everything I need, so I don't need to go grab that and ran and took it. I'm good. Let me press forward. God, what do you want me to do? I'm a willing servant. You know? This is how we carry on when we've been afflicted. Because if we don't, then we're going to be like Samson. We're going to be tired, and we're going to say, "God, just let me die. I'm done here." But I know if I say, "God, just let me die," then I'm never getting to His part. My part is suffering. His part is the overcoming. That's His promise, you know? And knowing that gives me the strength to hold on, because I know that my God is a promise keeper, and I know that He's going to come through. I know, because He's done it over and over and over again. I know that there is nothing too hard for my God. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to trust in Him, because I got nothing left. God, just take it. Take it. Use me. Use me in any way you can. Use me to change them, you know. Use me to shine the light, to let them see that there is a better way. You're just corrupting yourself. You know, Jesus said, we're not corrupted by what goes into the body, but what comes out of it. But the good news, if you've been corrupted, there's a cure, and His name is Jesus, okay? He'll wash you clean. He'll wash away all that sin. He'll give you a new name. You'll be called a Christian, one of His followers. And you'll know how to live, because He's got a standard that's been set for 2,000 years. It was the way we lived, and it's the way we carry on after Him. You know, so you don't have to worry about all that stuff. You just trust God. Keep it moving, right? Lay those burdens down. Exchange your yoke. Take on His. Do the will of God. You know, don't worry about your provision, because if God commanded a raven to feed Elijah by the brook, guess what? He'll do the same for you. He's your source. He's where your provision's going to come from. You ain't got to worry. It's on its way. It's probably already here. You just got to look, you know? You got to find the right rock to do it. That's my word for today. Y'all have a good day.